So welcome to the next class, and let's look at the aspect whereby we raise an expenses. Now, what is an expense? This is not receipt. This is not an invoice. This is an expense being made. You understand? This is an expense being made. All the purchases you make, all the rents you pay, delivery charges you make, bank charges you pay, all those bank charges your bank is charging your company, it's you record this here. So, and how do you do that? So just click on expenses. You click on expenses, then you click on add new expenses. Then you have mileage, you have expense. Don't let us go into mileage. Let's just go to expense. What we are doing is expense. Mileage is a different thing entirely. Now I can explain what that mileage does. Is that you can actually track if you want to monitor your vehicle usage. Maybe you expense on fuel, you expense on fuel, and you want to monitor it by the mileage, by the kilometer. You understand? So you can use mileage, but don't let us go into that, because that mileage you have to set up an expense. So you will set up a rate, then at the point whereby you enter the kilometer that the mileage, or let me just use the word mileage that the vehicle goes to, the system automatically calculates from there. So don't let us look at that. Let's just look at expense. So now I enter expense, I click on expense, the system brings up this for me. The system will tell me what date is this expense, did this expense occur. So if this expense occurred on this particular date, I'll put it. Now the category is, which is category, the type of expense. So let's say I did an ad, I did Facebook ad, so I can click on advertising and marketing. Now, how much did I pay for this day? How much did I pay? So let's say I ran an ad for, maybe it's covered the week. I can just say, let me say I actually ran the ads for, let's say 10,000. This 10,000, okay, 10,000. Now I'm not putting text. So if there is any reference number, maybe most times this reference number, like I told you, or this kind of number is if you have a source document. Another thing is this system has the function whereby you can actually attach a source document to. If you have a source document, for instance, maybe you bought something and there is a receipt for it and you want to key it on the system, you can actually snap it and as an evidence and attach it to this document. So you can see this attachment here. That is what it does. It allows you, anywhere you see attachments on this app, it allows you, based on the function that you want to do, based on that function, it allows you to attach the source document to it. You understand? So if you don't have any source document, you just leave it. Now you might not put any reference number here if you don't have. Then what is okay? You can have a reference number there for ads. You understand? Maybe Facebook generates a particular number for you. Maybe I don't know. Those kind of number. That's number. So when you make payments, when Facebook charges you, it comes with a particular reference number. You can actually write the reference number here. You understand? But if you don't have, just leave that. Then I can just call it description is Facebook ads. I can say for the week. Facebook ads for the week. Then now also, if for instance, okay, now let me put myself in this shoe. If I run Facebook on behalf of a particular customer, the customer I've paid out of my bank, or let me say I've paid out of the company's purse, but it's on behalf of this customer. You understand? So I can actually say customer, I can pick the customer. It is on behalf of that customer. So when the system wants to do it, we generate an invoice also for that particular customer. But don't let us go into that. I don't want to give you different scenarios that it will bother you. Let's just go to the straightforward one. So the straightforward one is just for your business alone. So you are paying for rent, you are paying for subscription, you are paying this and that. So all those kind of expenses, then you record it here. Then you have included the amount. So let's say Facebook has, then I can click on save. You understand? I click on save. This save here. I click on save. Save. You understand? So you can actually, like I told you, you can actually add a receipt to it. So you can do that. So you have made the first one. So you can still have more. If you want to add more, so if you want to add more, just go back and say new again. You understand? If this one is for rent for the month, rent for the month. If you are not keeping a proper bookkeeping, please, you need to know, or okay, you know the essence of this thing that we are doing so far. Even though you cannot generate a full, if you cannot generate a full financial statement, you should be able to generate an income statement. You understand? You should be able to generate an income statement. You actually want to know how much you are making. You understand? So if you want to know how much you are making, it is better to record every transaction. So you can have an idea of, okay, how much are you expending on rent for the month? You understand? It has to be for the month. Even the big organization, what they do is, even though they pay the money for the year, for a whole year, they will spread it across their financial periods, which is the month. They will spread it across. So you too, you need to do something like that. For instance, you might also be using your house. I'll give you an example. You might be using your house. You might be working from home. Whether you like it or not, even though you are working from home, try to get an element of what your business, you understand? Try to get an element of the expenses of your business, even in that house. You could have a space. You can have the whole house, the whole house, but you have just a corner that you are using to work. Use an idea. Okay, even if it is 1,000 naira, get an idea that okay, every month you'll be paying 1,000 naira just because of that space that you are using. If you are using if you are using a whole room, apportion a kind of percentage to the whole house. Get a portion of that particular area you have in the house and record it as your expense. You understand? So it gives you have a better view of the of your company, of your business. You understand all those things? So even if it is electricity, everything a business, you just think about that. If you have an office outside, put yourself on salary. Enter that. Know that you are working. If you have people working with you, put them on salary. Even if you give people money, expense it out, write it out. Make sure that all your transactions are well detailed. It helps you, it helps your business. So I will put another one. Let me say, okay, this transaction happened in, let's say, 21st. Then the category is maybe, let's say, consultant expense. Maybe you called me and I charged you 10,000, and I said, oh, so and you want to record it, or I charged you 5,000. Or you did graphics design, and I charged you 5,000, I charge you 10,000. Depending on my graphics design, start from 10,000. So if I want to charge you, it start from 10,000. So then you put the description, but I'll give you the best. Don't worry. Then you just click on save. 5,000. Then you click on save. And that's all. That is how to generate your expenses. You understand? See all what we have been doing since. Let me show you something. Go to your dashboard. You remember you will continue doing all this. Now let me go to my expense, my dashboard. Okay, now look at what, because this is total receivable. Total receivables mean the money you are expecting outside, those that are owing you, is the meaning of total receivable. I'm on dashboard, so total receivable. So that is the money that you're actually expecting outside. Then the income and expense. So this is what you have received against what you have expensed out. So you can see. So then, okay, this will give you a pie chart of your expense. I think we are still going to do that, but I'm not sure. But let me just try to give you an overview of this. Look at, so these top expenses will give you an overview of your top expenses, so that you can, maybe you can reduce your, or you can work on your expense, or I don't know. You understand? So it is very important to take note of that. So those are just the only thing. That's all for our expense. So now, next thing we are going to do is how do my customers have a portal? How do they see those transactions that I have done? Is either I send a mail, which we've done, an automation which is sending to them, or they log in through a portal. So it is the portal that we are going to do next after this. So thank you, and catch you in the next class.